Hello everyone, it's great to be back recording videos for Sims 4. It's been a long time, but I am diving right in with the Legacy Challenge. This is Naomi Vargas, my sim for this challenge. A founder who is typical in many ways. You see I have her traits set to family-oriented, outgoing, and active, and she does have the curator aspiration, which will help her be successful in the early game. I debated giving her some more difficult traits, but ultimately went for the ones that would make this the easiest, because this is actually my very first Legacy Challenge. I've toyed with it from time to time, but never really committed, so I've given her some clothing that I feel like will prepare her for the type of life she'll be living for the first part of this challenge. She does have a nice outfit you see here for when it gets a little bit warmer, and then I also gave her an everyday sort of work outfit. I'm not sure what job she'll have yet, but we wanted to be prepared. Then she also has some formal outfits, which I don't anticipate her needing for quite some time, but they are there when she needs them. And I realized later that that is the Cassandra Goth formal outfit, I think, or party outfit. I can't quite remember. Her workout wear is pretty basic. One slightly cooler weather, one slightly warmer. And then I gave her some regular nightwear, plus something a little cute for when she has a spouse. Her party outfit is pretty plain because she won't be going to any place fancy for a while, but then I also gave her one for better days. Swimwear, and then something for hot weather, although because we're starting in winter, I just wanted to give her really an alternate kind of transition outfit. And then there's something for when it's really summer. Cold weather, she's got one that's really bundled up, and then I also gave her, I wanted to give her some gloves because it always bothers me when they're running around in freezing cold weather and they don't have any gloves on. But I don't like most of the gloves that are available. I think they look, I don't know, I wish they had more mitteny type gloves, and maybe they do in some of the packs that I don't have, but none of these are quite matching. I don't know, they just kind of look, at a distance they just kind of look like weird hands to me, which these aren't too bad. Okay. So I also gave her this kind of spring, fall, cool weather day outfit, and she's pretty plain dresser, as you can see, somewhat androgynous, but I think with the background that I'm going to be working with for her, that makes sense. I'm still hashing that out a little bit. Oh, yeah, I realized I spelled Vargas wrong, which that's a great way to start, so just changing that there. As we start out, I've built her a lot in San Myshuno. I know this is a little bit different to the typical Legacy Challenge, but I wanted something that felt more connected. I see that most of the time you're supposed to drop them into a huge lot in, I think, Windenburg, or I forget where the other one was, and nothing's on it. And I didn't feel like that was something I really wanted to play with in this particular challenge. So instead, we have this dockside lot in San Myshuno, which I've built with sort of decrepit row houses. And what I'm thinking is her family, has owned this stretch of the waterfront for a long time, but due to various circumstances, they never really developed it past some basic housing. Okay, sorry about that. I think I got distracted by the sort of atmospheric haze there, but I think that's normal visibility. Just want to make sure there wasn't something wrong with my graphic settings. But in any case, so her family's owned this for a long time. They haven't improved on the housing that was there. Kind of been absentee landlords. I'm going to say that she was not raised in San Myshuno, but now that her family member, I'm not decided. I don't think it's going to be a direct ancestor, probably like an aunt or a great uncle or something like that. Now that they have died, they left her this piece of land, which is actually worth quite a lot, but she has zero resources to develop it. She can't even tear down the buildings, which really are tear down status. They are basically condemned and unfit for habitation, basically, is how they describe it. So, she's a landowner, she's land rich, but having no other resources, she can't do anything with it. But she is determined not to sell if she can possibly avoid it, because this is the first thing in her life that she's owned. This is the first, potentially the first house she's ever owned, the first permanent place of settlement for her. So that's huge, because she's always felt drifting and disconnected from the community she's grown up in. And she's looking forward to putting down some roots here once she figures out how to survive, essentially on the streets. Yeah, she has a vacant lot to crash it, but she's not in any way, it's the middle of winter, and it is pretty cold, and she knows nobody, and sorry, I'm just clicking through to look and see if any of these trash cans have populated with something to rummage. And also just, it's been a while since I played in San Myshuno too, so I'm not sure what all, where all the good foraging spots are. It's kind of foraging like you get in other worlds, only it's not minerals or plants, but you get snow globes growing wild. And occasionally trash, but I think I'm going to have to buy something and then throw it away to get the chance to rummage in those cans. And I realize I'm starting this kind of late in the day, so she's going to have to go to sleep reasonably soon. There's always a bench. Gosh. But I'd like her to find just a few items first so that she has something to work with for food, either tonight or in the morning. And I think, so they weren't posters yet, but I think they should be. They pop up pretty quickly, I think. And this is, I forget which neighborhood this is actually called. I think it's the kind of the Spice Market district, so we should have some good food. Although this looks, yeah, he's the fruit and vegetable vendor. So I'm wondering if there's something we can buy off of him to plant, and then she'll have some, still pretty precarious food security, but at least it'll be something.
Yibakoi, huh? Wakaru Ibakoi, Shimpur, Sabino.
Sul.
Run for Garpane? Run for Bajinka?
Oh, and another thing I've done, so I debated starting her in a world with all the usual townies, and then I decided that I'd go ahead and remove the families that we're familiar with. So these are all, with very few exceptions, randomly generated townies. So I have no idea who any of these people are, and I'm looking forward to kind of getting to know them and seeing, is there anyone out there that she would be interested in not only having as a friend, but eventually she does need to find a partner of some kind, because it is a legacy challenge, and I think we're supposed to have some children. I guess she could technically, I wonder if anybody's done one that's just adopting, because I know you can choose that rule. You can choose to include adopted Sims in the lines of succession, and I'm not sure which I'm going to do yet. I tend to think that I'd like to include, if I have a couple that can't have children on their own for whatever reason, then I may end up adopting. Sorry, I was just looking up real quick to see which of these would actually grow in winter. And it looks like onions do, and potatoes. So I think I'm going to get her potato. And then, it counted, wait, that counted as a collectible? Yes, so. I love how it's like a $17 potato from the stand, and then it's $3 in the inventory. That is some impressive depreciation. Don't see any posters on that yet, unless I'm looking at the wrong side. Nothing over here, but I like the details with all of these under bridge areas, and oh, that's that's kind of creepy. And it does it over here too, by the dock behind our houses, I guess. Okay, so we've got the karaoke bar basically next door, that's kind of fun. And I never really noticed it. It looks like it's from a converted factory. I kind of tuned that out before, which I really like that. I haven't done any editing of other lots in this world yet. I think I'm going to go through and put down various venues for sure, but haven't done any of that yet. Okay, yeah, no trash. Nobody's buying any food and throwing it away yet. So it looks like we with our 18 simoleons and our 17 simoleon potato, should probably head on home to our decrepit row house. Now we do have fishing, but I think it's too cold, which is sad. So I guess, yeah, technically this is the extreme start, or the super extreme start of the Legacy Challenge. I have to warn you, I am not a strict rule follower, but on the other hand, I don't bend rules just for the heck of it. I like constraints in gaming. I think it adds to my enjoyment, and it sparks creativity for sure, to have some limitations on what I can do and can't do. And I'm not going to be keeping points, but I am going to be kind of taking all of the point totaling, or the point awarding things as a inspiration. They're more like suggestions. Sorry, let's see, where's my potato? Eat potato? I mean, I can eat potato, but I would prefer to grow a potato. I wonder if it's does it get too cold in The Sims to plant? Like, does the ground freeze or anything? I haven't come up against that before. I guess I have to admit. Wait. Oh, it is too cold to plant. Oh, that's miserable. I always start out in spring, so, it's frickin' freezing. Okay, then, so, no potato today. I'm going to get the heck out of here because this is just too depressing. No, obviously very temporary, but I would love for her to start making some friends. Oh, okay. So this is the guy in the colorful sleeves. Oh, he's gonna, I don't know. Wait, it's a Kengo Watanabe. I swear isn't there, like, in the regular game, isn't there a Kengo Watanabe? Is that just, maybe it's just my game that does that. I swear there's always a guy with that first and last name together, which is kind of both weird and awesome. Like he's, eternal somehow. Anyway, so the guy with the colorful sleeves is one of the very few Sims that I have edited a little bit, because when I saw him in the teleport Sims list, I was just checking to see if I'd have enough generated townies to go ahead and start, because I didn't want a totally empty world. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, he's walking. Ouch. That's really, that hurts. That hurts, Santiago? Is that what it is? Yeah. That's fine. We can enjoy ourselves all by ourselves. there's nothing preventing her from having a wonderful time, except, wow, that is really terrible singing. But she's feeling great about it, so I'm not going to harsh her mellow or whatever. Love how he went in the other room where, how much better, bro. Okay, anyway, so Sai was one of the ones who just turned out kind of naturally cute, so what did I do to him? He had that hair to begin with. I think I gave him a different, chin, and I'm pretty sure I left his clothes as they were, but I also gave him a brother, because it just seemed like a possible look toward the future as far as finding a partner, and I wanted to have him have a bit of a family if that was the case. I'm going to invite Santiago to sing with me, because that is the best way to deal with an enemy. Is what? Okay, I was gonna say we'd make him a friend, but apparently he's just gonna walk out of the entire karaoke bar now. It's time for a drink. Now, okay, so that is vindication. And some good money. Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday night at 8 p.m. We have to come back and defend, because if she can win with a singing score of less than 2, I think it's 2 now, I forget if it popped up, then for sure wow. That definitely calls for a drink. And I think, what do we have here? Cheap? Fizzy fruity. Definitely fizzy fruity. Okay. I mean, maybe the whole challenge could just be us winning karaoke contests, but I think that would get a little bit old after a while. What's happening? What was that sparkling thing happening in the corner? Just giving off heart vibes or something. Anyway, so she is feeling great after her win, obviously, as would I. Especially, going in and singing without having had a drink first. I rarely manage that myself. Need a little courage. So, like I said, I don't know any of these people, and none of them are really striking me as... Although... Okay. Oh, yeah, this is, Talia. Yeah, okay, I did not edit her at all, and granted her outfit is, but I think that is a really pretty sim. I prefer to have most of my sims kind of choose their orientation on their own, by which I mean, obviously, they don't, pick who they like, but there does seem to be, in certain interactions, it seems like the game chooses a sim that they really get along well with, in which case, if she hits it off with Talia, then you never know. This could be the girl for her. But I need to meet this guy, because that Javon, he's giving me, I don't know, I just like the look of his little head. And I'd like for her to meet as many people as possible to see if any of them stick. I wish we had better group stories, though, because they're a little bit childish, I have to say. Which, I mean, maybe that's what they're... Is that something that came in with Parenthood? Because I seem to remember it coming in around that. In which case, okay, that makes sense if they're actually for kids. But wouldn't it be cool if there were, like, I don't know, tell the story of the time I stole dorm mattresses in college and went joyriding down the, oh, sorry, I'm taking a moment to enjoy. Yeah, so Sai is okay. Somebody we've met, but we don't have a. Or no, oh, okay, he must be in the room. We haven't met him yet. Sorry. Anyway, mattresses, college, chased by police. Nobody, arrested. It's all fine. But that kind of story, surely we should be able to tell that kind of thing. And that's where I kind of do wish, we had a better memory system like Sims 3 supposedly did. I'm going to have to confess something. I'm actually a Sims 4 only player. I've never played Sims 3, although I have played Sims Medieval, which I don't know if people think that counts. I loved it. That was my first Sims game, so. But as far as like long-term play, no, Sims 4 all the way. So I don't have the same like Sims 3 nostalgia that I think a lot of real long-term Simmers have, which is good and bad, but yeah, it sounds like we are missing out on some features which I think would make gameplay even better. I'm kind of in love with this guy. I don't, maybe it's just his willingness to sing terrible country duets with me, but they seem to be vibing. I don't know. Plus, I like how normie, like, these two are like the least fashionable Sims I've probably ever seen. But they're getting on together really well. Oh yeah, she's telling him her bear story, clearly. I don't think I have. No, the only bear story I have is going camping with my sorority sisters. And, this is the middle of, like, the Allegheny National Forest. So it was every single sound that we heard, we thought was a bear. So we coined the term paranoia to describe the feeling that every possible sound around you while you're camping might be a bear. Not that, yeah. I mean, there were bear there. It was a legitimate fear. But in any case, clearly, Naomi has the same experiences, or maybe I'm just projecting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He seems to be really receptive. Oh. No. Why is she getting on so well with somebody who's mean? I mean, he hasn't been mean to her yet, but like, oh, that makes me no. I wanted him to be her buddy, at least. But, so this is something she's learned in conversation, that he is a mean person. And now, like, how can you then, I mean, people will tell you jokingly that they are mean, or that they're, horrible and awful to people. You know what they say? When people tell you who they are, you should believe them. So I think we're gonna not, I don't know if we can be friends with him. I mean, it would be fun, obviously, because this is The Sims. It's a game, and it's not like being friends with a mean person in real life. You don't have to worry about moral consequences in the same way, but that's really sad. Okay, well, she's gonna go hit up, perhaps on Sai. I really like his colorful attire, even though he kind of looks like I don't know. He works at sort of a, what? Oh. Ooh. Something embarrassing just happened, but I don't know what it was. I don't know. He kind of looks like he works at an ice cream shop or something with the pink going on there. He's self-assured, which can't be good. It can also be annoying. Has to be used carefully. But she is feeling so good right now. I think everything's just going. Yeah. And she loves the fact that she's getting to meet people. Although, oh crud, it's almost 4 in the morning. But I started out with, like, her needs all the way up. So it's not, she's not going to really need to do anything for a while. I don't know. It's fine. She can pull an all-nighter the first night. So she is a brand new young adult I reset her. I have MCCC, CCC, yeah. So that I can kind of manage things a little bit in the game, but I'm not going to be using many of the cheats on it because that would make things too easy. But I did reset her to the very beginning of her life stage instead of having it randomized, which I do for the rest of the Sims. And then, yeah, I'm surprised there's so many people there at 4:30 in the morning. Ah, do we have? Yes, we do. Okay. We have some. I like that mural. There's even, oh, that's sad. Kellen, what are you doing? There's nobody out to pay you, honey. Okay. Yeah, the posters can be really. Just gotta look. No booyah. No trash for us. But posters and maybe some globes. After this, we'll go home because she is starting to get. Or no, we don't have any. We don't have anything to eat with. Maybe we should buy a mini fridge. Although, okay, so the plan is to. I mean, I could just buy her a tent, but I don't think I'm going to do that. And she's not going to be able to live in any of the buildings because they are. I mean, technically, okay. So if she were literally homeless. In real life, she might chance squatting in one of those, abandoned homes. But I think we're going to say they're in such bad condition on the inside that it's really unsafe for her to do that. So instead, she's going to live on the land. And I'll show you. I think I figured out she does have a spot which is safe-ish. I mean, it's a little bit protected from at least the wind, although it's still open air. Oh, they disappear when you. Okay, that's. Sorry, I feel like I haven't lived in San Myshuno for years, so I don't really know how everything works. But this is. I don't know. It's fun to relearn all of the ways of making money. This is not, I mean, so yeah, most of the times when I do, like, I don't do official Rags to Riches, but I do, like, starting from nothing. I love playing that type of gameplay, but I almost always, like, clear the park in Oasis Springs and make that their kind of campground. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, I have the policy that if a street musician or something like that makes you stop in your tracks, which I think he's doing a wonderful job with that violin on a frigid Monday morning, so I'm just going to listen for just a moment. I forget if music gives you any moods when you're not the one playing it yourself. Anyhow, if they make you stop, you should give them money, because they have entertained you. Ooh, samosa. That's quite a long piece of music, though, buddy. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some food for her. Let's light our mouth on fire. Although samosas aren't really that spicy. I mean, I know they needed to have some kind of street food snacky type things, but maybe I just have eaten bland samosas. I mean, it is kind of good to have the spicy food warm you up a little bit. I really should put her in the outfit that has gloves, shouldn't I? Oh well, it's fine. I'm going to say she literally just got off a bus, stashed her duffel bag in the back of the row house, and is now doing her best to adapt to the absolutely absurd circumstances she's in. Ooh, it burns. Spicy food can make Sims uncomfortable. Well, given that she's doing, like, super well otherwise, I think a little bit of discomfort is kind of normal. Let's take our potato and go. So oh yeah, so these are all like, I don't know if you recognize them, probably. I don't know. People are much better builders than me, but these are of course the Get Famous like shop and apartment front like sets, and then I built kind of black box shells behind them. You see all the ladders because it's technically a set, not a actual building. But I didn't really want to. I like the way they add some detail without me having to be really good at building. But then, I spent like way too much time making the backs match. So I almost should have just built them from scratch. But I was committed by that point. Random mailbox, which I think that'll be the easiest. So it's funny that it put the mailbox there because that is, so that open hedge. Yeah, I think I want it out front. It looks weird to have it in the back. So she'll just use one of these as her address and won't actually be living there. I've locked all of the gates except for this one, which is a hedge, so it doesn't lock. Still too cold to plant potato. Okay. But I really would like to get started with some food. I mean, we have a good bit of money. So I'm going to go ahead and get her a bed. I mean, the cot's kind of nice, but I think this is more realistic as far as, she can inflate this herself and, get it home on public transport or whatever. Let's get her a nice little lamp. Because this would, I don't know, when you think about this, it's like, this would be terrifying. And the prospect of being homeless in general, but just, in a city that she isn't familiar with at all. She doesn't know, where to go to be safe at night. Ooh, and the river's frozen, or the bay, or whatever it is. I guess, I always forget if it's I think there is a river because there are bridges, which look like they aren't that long. Will you fish? No. Okay. Yeah, it's still too cold. I just was curious if the group fishing would somehow work, because that would be interesting. But anyway, so yeah, it is. Yeah, she's looking more like I would imagine she would look now, as far as just being kind of out of her element and, if it were me, scared out of my wits. I actually think I'm going to wrap it up now because we've gone over the time I wanted to go for this first episode, but I am really grateful that you're here starting this adventure with me. I hope you have enjoyed what we've done so far, and look forward to sharing more of Naomi's story with you in future episodes, which I should be filming and putting up pretty shortly. So we will leave our poor heroine here. Thank you for joining me, and hope to see you back here in a couple of days for the next episode. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.